621. So Christian is trapped in a mine somewhere or is doing something overseas that he has no internet. The squirrels are dead. I think he ran them over with his yuck or something. So he is not going to be here today. But the great news is we have a fantastic guest. We are going to do an abbreviated version of Social Chatter now. We've got 2 great topics and 1 amazing tool, including the incredible Beth Ziesnius. What's up, Beth?
Hi. I would like a yuck.
Yuck or muck or some crap like that. Yeah.
Might impact my my internet, but I think I want one.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll work on getting you that. It'll be Social Chefs branded, so it'll be green instead of orange, which is mine and your color, but that's okay.
Awesome.
That is awesome. So cool. So I'm super glad you're here. So folks, so if you don't know the amazing Bethsy, you need to. She is fantastic. Her latest book is The Bigger Book of Apps, which I'm just going to give you a sneak preview. We're going to talk about this later, but she's freaking brilliant. Beth is one of the smartest people I know about apps. When I say tool time is fun, that is because of Beth, because Beth and I have talked about tools, 5, 6, 7 years now, long time. And she's someone that I look to when I'm looking for new tools. Beth is someone that I look to. So Beth, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you, my friend.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure. So cool. So we've got 2 little tools to talk about today. This is going to be fun. So the first tool that we're going to talk about, let me see if I can figure out this screen share dealio, is we're going to talk about, first is LinkedIn. So I suppose I should hit the button on hit share. So new tools to build your community and grow your career. The good news is LinkedIn has got now LinkedIn events, which looks like they're rolling out to all of us, which I really love. So you can create an event, you can recognize your teammates, save things for later, and add people to group messages. All these new features are coming out, helping you do some cool stuff. We'll share a link in this as well. But Beth, do you ever have any events that you might do or things like that? How might you use a LinkedIn event?
Whenever I talk about social media in any capacity, I talk about adding depth to your social media. And this is the perfect example of how to add depth and interest to what you're doing on social media. What would you do for an event? Well, hashtag book launch, fantastic idea. But bringing your community together, I've started doing a lot of, I call it Facebook or Nerdwords Live, my community, my newsletter. I've started doing Nerdwords Live. So it's the same kind of thing with a LinkedIn event where you've got a topic and you want to share it with people live. You want to bring people in. You want to have those conversations rather than just having post, picture, and all the regular stuff that the regular people are doing. You can stand out and add depth in your profile with your community.
Awesome. I love that idea. Anytime you can add some depth, I think it's really important. I mean, it does mix things up, and not to mention, most people aren't doing that. So anytime you can do that, right, as a business, you can absolutely stand out. So think about, folks, like what type of virtual events you have and in person, right? If you've got a wine store, and one of my favorite things, I love to drink good wine. If you've got a wine store, right, you got a wine tasting, you can do that. You can bring people into that, and you can even bring them in and out of the conversation as need be, so you can have some chat with the new thing that's featured there. So Beth, do you offer some interactiveness?
Let me add one more piece to this puzzle. When it comes to all of these social media sites, when they roll out a new feature, they want you to try the new feature. They want to tell people you tried the new feature. They want everybody to be excited about the new feature that you are trying, that they can try. So as soon as you try something from their brand new category, they give you all kinds of publicity, all kinds of kudos. I can't tell you how many times I've been sitting in my house drinking coffee and so-and-so is live on LinkedIn, because they want everybody to know that they've got all these cool features. So if you're using LinkedIn events, if you're using those kind of new features that they're rolling out, you've immediately got the attention and the algorithm on your side versus, again, post.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. And it's one of the best reasons that I recommend people, whenever there's a new feature, don't worry about being perfect. Just go first, because the platform always prioritizes new stuff over old stuff.
Yes.
So cool. So let's talk a little bit more about events here before we move into some cool Instagram stuff, because I think it's really instructive. We talked about you might do a book launch, right? We talked about a wine tasting, but let's talk about maybe other types of events that I think businesses might want to try. So one of those might just be a simple office hours, right? Ask me anything. You could host your own. And I know, Beth, you've done some of this before with different platforms. So how is kind of an ask me anything? How's that worked out?
Well, it depends. You know, publicity is everything because you're competing a lot with a lot. You're competing a lot with a lot. That is heavy conversation there, but it is. It's really tough to get people's attention sometimes. And you said, you know, go ahead and try it. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it does have to be a little bit popular. So I don't want to be all rosy and rose-colored glasses about using these technologies. If you have a party and nobody comes, and I have done this, it's not really a party. And so if you have a party and one person comes, it's not really a party. So you as a business need to do your work in your community. You need to have a community who's engaged already, and you need to do your work in that community to give them enough time, give them enough notice, give them enough reason to be there, rather than just like starting one and saying, hey, I'm having a party. I have had parties where nobody, like literal parties where nobody came. So it's sad.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Well, I think one of the nice things about LinkedIn events is that it creates a custom URL, so you don't have to contain it to LinkedIn. This is one of the things you talk about promotion, right? So I might send an email to my list. I might create a shortened URL that I put on a poster if in my physical location, right? I might post it to Facebook. I might share it on Twitter. I might share it a bunch of places, write some private messaging to make that happen. Like today, for instance, we see Natalia and Clara on. Hi, friends. How are you? Right? We might invite. Now we have a party because now there's 4 of us here. So this is important, right? And hopefully they'll invite their friends too, so that now instead of 4, we get 8 or 16 or 24, so that now we get a little bit more virality, which is really, really fun. And to your point, Beth, I think really important, a party isn't a party if it's just me.
So that is a hint for the other people who are here today. Let's double the number of people here so that I don't, flash back to all of those other parties. I'm just saying. Claire, bring it.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, I was the guy at the prom that was standing in the corner that nobody wanted to dance with. I think that's because I was dancing like Navin R. Johnson in The Jerk, right? That's probably why. I did a little bit of this, right? And yeah, so anybody wants to dance, we can dance off screen. We won't be doing that in social chatter, or we'll lose all 3 people that are watching now. So cool. So good. So events are really a fun way. So one of the next tool that we're going to talk about that's changed is Instagram offering multiple photos. They're calling it Instagram layout, which I think is really cool, right? That's really smart that they're finally doing this. So let's share this and add this to the screen here. Instagram uploading multiple photos through a new layout feature, a third-party tool brought inside. Well, this, obviously we don't all have this, but certainly I bet all of us have done this. So if we think about this, right, this is something that we've all done. We've stitched a picture together and we've created some cool stuff. And nobody that I know of, Beth, does this better than you. I mean, you are fantastic at this. So talk to us about some of the fun ways that we can stitch pictures together to create a bit of a community and some fun stuff.
Well, nobody likes pictures of themselves more than themselves, right? I'm not sure I said that right. Everybody loves to see themselves up there. So we talked about our communities. We talked about how we get people engaged. Don't take pictures of yourself or what you're doing. Take pictures of your followers and use them in your stories. Try to engage people that way. These stories with the multiple pictures are fantastic. They're full of depth and interest, and people spend more time with them because there's more going on. So if you take some of these features that allow you to have more pictures, more different things in there, and you couple that with using your community as part of your subject matter, you've got a real winning combination for changing some of your stories and giving them a lot more life.
Awesome. I love that. So we're getting blamed right now by by Beth Granger says that she's blaming the two of us for not getting started with my day. So we love that. We're appreciative to also to Claire Dowdle, who decided to share this, as well as Natalia. So we got people that are running. Beth, I think this is all your fault here that we're running late for work. So I'm grateful for that because I think that's fun. So what we could do is we could take a picture of all of us that are dancing here on screen and then stitch it together so we could look like a party, even if it's just me, right? So we've got Claire says that her lunch is becoming a long one. Great. So just take us right into dinner, Claire. That would be fine. And Stephanie says that's a great point. Stephanie Broderick. So fantastic with that. So super duper excited. And we might have a mystery guest here. Hold on. Let's see. Christian Karasevich, how are you?
Hey, man. How we doing? Can you hear me?
I barely hear you, but you're at least here. So we see your smiling face. Yeah, not very much, but that's okay. We hear you. We're glad you're here.
Some adjustments. How's that? Tell me when.
There you go. Like use some volume. That would be good.
Okay,
so we're grateful for volume now.
Perfect.
You sound better.
Awesome.
So, yep. So we're not going to bring you on for a long time, but we want to say, hey, so we're going to give you the answer to ask Beth one question. One question. What's it? What do you
got? So one question for Beth. Let's see.
Yeah, one question for the nerd.
I'm listening.
What's your favorite absolute all-time like app? I think that's what I'd say.
That's a tough one. That is a tough one. That is a tough one. People ask me that all the time, and I'm very situational, but I can tell you from a warrior point of view, there has been nothing that I've used more consistently and with more success than TripIt and TripIt Pro specifically.
Okay. Awesome.
Nothing. It's been around for multiple years, but I use it all the time. Even if you only travel once or twice a year, when you have it, it is essential. Now, Google is trying to do some things that kind of mimic that, and some other people are like picking up on that and trying to do it. But TripIt is fantastic. Not only do I use it for the passive collection of my, if you don't know, TripIt is the tool that collects all your reservations. So not only do I use it passively where it collects all my reservations, but I also use it actively where I have my assistants go in and put exactly what time my engagement is, when my engagement is, and things like that. So it is a full feature layout of all of my events every single time, and it's essential.
Fantastic. And the other question I guess I was going to ask, if I get a second question, was just how do I pronounce your last name? Because mine's Karasevich, and so how do you have Beth Z up there, I see, but how do I pronounce your last name?
Oh yes, say it like you're sneezing. Zisness.
Perfect.
Zisness.
Okay, that is fantastic. So I'm going to let Phil come back on.
Yeah.
I like the jacket, by the way. It looks fantastic.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So cool. So Christian, where are you in the world? Can you share where you are? Because usually you're in a bunker sequestered somewhere.
No, actually, I'm over in I'm in Cambodia right now for a few days. So it's I think it's what 8:45 there for you all in the morning. It's about 8:45 in the evening for me. So I'm going to, so that's all I have to say right there. But I am looking forward to watching this show, and I'll probably try to check out the podcast actually as well afterwards for this, so I can, kind of keep up with what all you have going on. I'm going to step out and go behind the scenes and try to follow what you all are talking about so that we can make sure we share those with everyone who's listening or watching. But Beth,
Christian, I just want to show you. I got a wonderful picture.
Your book. I read the first couple pages of your first book.
Look at that.
That's me saying, "You're frozen. You're frozen. You're frozen." And look, he's frozen again.
Yeah. So So we've got a typically Christian, frozen Christian. So we believe he's a cross between Han Solo and Princess Elsa. For all of those at home. So we're just gonna let him go. Let him go. And then it's just going to be me and you, Beth. Is that okay, or is that bad?
Can I ask the audience to please give you incredible props for that wonderful analogy to 3 different pop culture movies. So that was awesome, Phil.
Thanks. Yeah, I got about 3 skills, and that was one of them. So so now everybody's impressed. So we'll come to the nerd side. We have, what do you have, Beth?
Pie.
Oh, we have pie. Of course you have pie. Very, very lovely. So cool. So, hey, so Beth, now we have to talk. Now comes to the point, my favorite part of the show. It is tool time. So if you folks, if you're not familiar with Tool Time, this is typically the part where we put up a screen and then me and the guests dance behind the scenes like we're on Ellen. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a screen. So you're just going to have to pretend that I'm dancing behind the scenes because I am dancing inside. But look at that. Christian puts the screen up and now we're set. So Beth, it's time to dance because nobody can see us. So let's dance, right? Now we got a little tool time here. So this is the fun part of the show. Claire Dottle says that the singing was obviously awesome. I think that was only obvious to you, Claire. So that's why I love you. So thank you for that. And call me later today. We can talk about my bad singing and dancing. But yes, it is time for tool time, my favorite part of the show. Today, though, we're only talking about one tool. And I mean this in a beautiful way. One tool. So, Christian, bring us back out, brother, because he's running behind the scenes. Today's tool is quite simply me. Oh, no, it's not me. It's Beth's Book, the bigger book of apps, your nerdy BFF's guide to almost every app in the universe. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, every book that Beth has done since we've become friends, I have supported because she is awesome. This book is no different. I love the fact. So I have official Nerd Herd edition, special edition number 5 here, right? And Beth calls me her nerdy best friend. I don't know what I do to deserve that, but that is lovely. But I'm excited because this is such a fantastic book. And this, instead of one tool or two tools like we give you folks, literally, Beth, how many tools are in this book?
Approximately 560.
Approximately 560. Good. That's an approximate. So 560 books instead of just 2 tools. 560. This book, I'm going to tell you, is amazing. So much inside of this book. So first, Beth, I got to know, how the hell did you come up with 560 apps? I know 150 apps, but what you got?
Well, here's how I do this. I constantly scan all of the different tech blogs and mostly Product Hunt. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Product Hunt, but if you are a real nerdy person and you like to keep up with the absolute newest stuff, Product Hunt is the Reddit for all kinds of new products and things. A lot of them are web development and developers tools, but so many of them are kind of everyday tools that are the kind of things I look like with kind of a freemium model and tools that we can use. So I started out with a list of about 5,000 and I checked every single one. There's a lot of calories that go into this book, a lot of sitting that go into this book because I spend just hours looking at every single app, signing up for them, trying them out, getting advice from other people. And I whittled it down to 560 or so that I wanted to tell people about. And it's built on, this is the bigger book of apps. I had the big book of apps, and then I had some other books. And so they're all built on each other. I go back and try out the ones that I had before. So this one has more than half are brand new. And then the other group are refreshed. And things like TripIt that I'll always use as long as it's around and doesn't get bought out by Microsoft and Eaton, like so many things are. So TripIt, all these things are in there and refreshed, and it came out just about exactly a month ago.
Wow, that's pretty darn cool. So one of the things, folks, if you're thinking about this and you're like, boy, I want to keep up, make sure I don't miss it, we want to encourage you to go to socialchefs.com/daily. We're going to include links to everything that we missed because unfortunately today we weren't able to be as awesome as we normally are with this. But we want you to get a copy of this book because we think it's fantastic. Like I said, it's $20, $25 depending on the day. Totally worth it. Bigger book of apps. I really, really dig this book, like I said. So in this book, though, because I'm a Nerd Herd supporter, and we'll talk about that in a minute here, on page 88, I get to share my favorite app. So Beth lets me do this. So she says, Otter.ai. If I hadn't fallen in love with Vocea first, I'd probably use Otter, like my nerdy buddy and Nerd Herd member Phil Gerbishak does. Right, there we go. Beth's got that. Yeah, like Vocea, Otter uses AI to record and transcribe meetings. The emphasis is on transcription, which you can do in real time. It's not set up for meeting notes, but the transcription is hard to beat, especially since you get 10 hours a month for free. Now, I love this. Here's why, right? I love that it transcribes on my phone, on the app, in person that I have, and it allows me to match up people's voices. And when I remember to add people to my calendar appointments, after the recording, it says, boop, would you like to share this with Beth Z? I love this. Freaking great tool. And I mention Otter all the time. I'm surprised. They send me coffee cups and stuff because I really do love them. I don't get any money for recommending them, but I really do love them. They're just really, really good folks. So Beth, you mentioned TripIt. Give me one more app that you think that people could really benefit from having. If you're a small business owner, just any one app that you think people could benefit from that you love.
If you're a small business owner, I find, and it's a video app. I've used it for years and years. Again, this is one of the classics, Animoto, Animoto. Get it on your phone. It's free on your phone for the basic version. And if you go to the web, it's too expensive, whatever. I don't understand. But there's a free version on your phone called the basic or something like that, or light or something. Gives you 30 seconds for free. But what it lets you do is take a handful of pictures, and I mean 3, 4, 5, whatever, 7, and create a quick video montage. I love this. If you are a wine tasting place, grab, the evening's events, put it on there, or all the new different wines, pictures, put it on there. So quick, so easy, so fast, free. Put it up on social media, and it again adds depth to what you're already doing. Now, there are some other tools out there like Google Photos will now do a montage for you, but I've never found them to be as good or as interesting or as well timed as Animoto.
Well, and I would say in addition to the well timing and all that, it's not an app that everybody uses, which I think is brilliant, right? And we talk about this a lot on Social Chatter, and that is you should use apps that not everybody's using because people come to understand, oh, that's a Canva layout. Oh, that's a this layout, right? And so you use a tool like Animoto, which is, again, why 560 stinking apps here in the bigger book of apps. If you don't find an app there, if you don't find an app that you love, I'll buy the book from you. Okay, for real. No, because I give these books away all the time. And I got to tell you, you can find at least one, you probably 560 that are going to help your business. So really awesome stuff. So Beth, I'm going to put up your Twitter handle, but I know that you're not as active on Twitter as you once were. So if people want to talk to you, if they want to get more Beth Z love, where would you send them and why?
If you want to get Beth Z love and just have a conversation, just send me a note. Go through yournerdybestfriend.com. And Twitter, I'm very good at in the moment. I feel like I'm a fair weather Twitter girl. So I'll go to an event and tweet a lot, and then I don't keep up with it. Okay, but Phil, frankly, you just made me feel bad about my Twitter self. But I'm gonna now go post a whole bunch of Phil love and Otter love so that I get not only a coffee cup, but back in your good graces socially.
Oh, you're already there, my friend. You're already there. So, folks, check us out on Alexa or check out the podcast. We got lots of ways to connect. And, of course, let's not forget, make sure you connect with our friend, Beth's Business. We've got that, right, at yournerdybestfriend.com. Get the bigger book of apps, folks. It is packed with good stuff. It really, really is super exciting. And if you want the recap of this, you go to socialchefs.com/SC221. Unbelievably, this is the 221st episode of Social Chatter. Now, Beth, I'm going to put you on the spot here. I'd like to know, will you come back on the show?
I will come back on the show, do a full hour, and drink much more coffee in advance. I will wear pants the next time. Today it's pajamas. Next time I'm wearing pants just for you.
All right. Well, next time I will not wear pants then, just for you. So this will be perfect. We'll match. No, I will not. So my pants today, actually, I'm dressed up for our holiday dress up today. I've got my jacket and I've got velvet pants on, if you can believe that today, Beth.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty darn scary. So, folks, check it out, right? Connect, socialchefs.com/daily. Connect with @NerdyBFF on Twitter. Say hi to my friend Beth Z. She is fantastic. And next week, we're going to have a year-end wrap-up where Christian and I talk about the highlights of the year. And maybe, just maybe, we bring on some fun guests. So for another week of Social Chatter, thanks so much for being with us. Beth, as always, you are delightful, my friend. See you soon, everyone. Have a great week. Bye now.